Good evening, Freedom Rose. A little bit late today because I was out on a date with Isaiah. He had the day off and we got a chance to go to the movies. And we saw Anaconda and we had, as my angels would have it, we had the entire theater to ourselves. It was a matinee. But it was wonderful. It was like our first date in a long time. First date in a long time. So I'm here to talk about something really sensitive. It came up twice today, first thing in the morning. I'm going to read you something here in a minute. And it's about choices, and we're going to talk about that after I read this. But Teal, one of the Teal, the people that I listen to and follow, kind of like myself, she's a light worker, and very, very wonderful talks that she does, and insights. And she came on live this morning about choice, free will and choice. And then right after that, another friend sent me this or posted on her thing, and I actually took it from there and thanked her that I would use it today. It came at the right time. But we're going to talk about fear versus peace. And look at how this door cuts right through fear. Peace cuts right through fear. There's a lot of fear, a lot of upheaval right now in our country, and I'm sure all around the world for different reasons. But in our country right now, there's a lot going on, and people are getting hurt. And I'm going to read this next, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. This is for the walk for peace by the monks that are walking across the United States. I think they're going from south to north. I can't remember the states exactly. And they're walking for peace. And what a perfect time for them to be here. Walking through all conditions, our walk takes us through sun and rain, dry roads and wet, through snow and warmth, through noise and blessed silence, through crowds and quiet solitude. Some days are gentle and kind. Some days ask more of us than we expected. Some days surprise us with unexpected beauty or unexpected challenges. And isn't this just like all our lives? There are times when everything flows smoothly, when the path ahead feels clear and our steps feel light. And there are times, perhaps some of us are facing this right now, when the road feels rough, when obstacles keep appearing, when we feel cold or tired or uncertain about what comes next, making it hard to take even one more step. The weather of our lives changes without asking permission. Sunny moments give way to storms we didn't see coming. Ease gives way to struggle. Joy and difficulty sit side by side in our hearts. We cannot control these shifts, no matter how hard we try. We cannot demand that life only brings us gentle days. But here is what we can do. And it changes everything. We can choose the path of peace for our minds. For our minds. Even when our circumstances feel anything but peaceful. When we make this choice, when we gently commit to being mindful with our breath and our daily actions. When we practice being present instead of fighting what is. We discover something that feels like grace. We find a peace within that the changing, I'll start that again. We find a peace within that the changing conditions cannot shake, cannot steal, and cannot destroy. The rain still falls, but we are not swept away by it. The rough path still asks us to be brave, but we do not lose who we are. The noise still surrounds us, but we are not drowned by it, because beneath all of it, there is something because beneath all of it, there is something in us that remains steady, quiet, whole. This is the peace that lives beneath all circumstances. I'm going to read that again. This is the peace that lives beneath all circumstances. It doesn't depend on perfect weather or smooth roads. It doesn't require everything to go our way. It simply asks that we show up for ourselves with kindness and mindfulness, breathe as consciously as we can, and meet whatever comes with gentle instead of harsh judgment. Read that again. And meet whatever comes with gentleness instead of harsh judgment. Life will bring sun and rain. That is simply its nature. But peace, true lasting peace, is not found in controlling the weather around us or within us. It's found in learning to walk through all of it with minds that stay as grounded as we can. Hearts that try to stay open, and spirits that whisper to us on the hardest days. Spirits, what we talk about, that whisper to us on our hardest days. This too shall pass, and we are still here, still breathing, still whole, still capable of choosing peace. We are stronger than we know, and peace is closer than we think. May you and all beings be well, happy, and at peace. Again, this was written by one of the monks from Walk for Peace. They did not take credit for it, so I cannot give credit to this person. So, first thing this morning was about choice. We have choices. The quickest way to control the masses is fear. The quickest way to control the masses is fear. So what's going on, right? Massive fear everywhere. Created on a daily basis, and it's just escalating. So, how do we choose peace in all of that? Well, I meditate every day, as I've told you before. I've learned how to meditate. Didn't think I could, ever. But a year ago, my life changed. And I can get deep in meditation now. And it's changed my life. How do you do that? Well, you'd ask if you don't do it already. I try to meditate 2 or 3 times a day, once for sure, because it keeps me in a neutral place. I can watch everything going around and not get sucked in to the anger, the fear, and because when that happens, it just increases. There's a thing called collective consciousness, and we have thoughts. Those thoughts go out. They radiate out. So when one person is fearful, you can make the whole crowd fearful. But then that one person that comes in that's really calm, guess what? They can change that whole thing to being very calm. Why? Because it's an energy that radiates out from us. So the choice is, they cannot take away our choices. It may feel like you don't have choices, but you always have your free will. It's the only thing no one can ever take from you. Free will means freedom to choose. Choose what you say, choose what you do, choose what you think. If you join in on the fear or the anger, Is anything accomplished by that other than everyone getting stirred up? But what happens when those that are trying to create fear can't do that? That's when you truly, truly are making a difference. I am a hippie from the 70s. And I carry spiders outside. But I also am not a pushover by any means at all. In fact, I say, you don't want to do that. You don't want to mess with me, because not that I am going to hurt anyone, but I know how to conduct myself in a way that gets things done and I can take care of myself. I'm here today to say, think about how you're reacting. It would be wonderful if we could get masses of people truly being peaceful as these monks are, in meditation, in prayer, in song. I would love to see a song developed where we all can sing it. And when there are gatherings for peaceful ways of saying no, no, no more. When that happens and you all are singing a song instead of screaming at whoever is screaming at you, what a difference that makes. It takes two to fight. It takes two to fight. So if you aren't fighting, you're being silent and projecting love, right, kindness back to these people that are not being that way, you can change the world. You can change the moment. And I hope people will stop getting hurt and killed. That's my ultimate message. We need to change this around, and so people aren't losing their lives. But as we feed that fear, feed that anger, that they come in and puff up and create that fear by treating people unkindly and inappropriately, you can be gentle back. You really can. Aho, amen. So it is. Think about this. Think on how you can contribute to the peace rather than the fear and the anger, and still get the changes that you want done. Mwah.